Hey everybody, Jim Stagg, Stagg Custom Homes. Are you actively listening or are you just hearing? You're just hearing words. What I mean by this is, when was the last time that you actually sat down with a client, put your phone down, looked deep into your client's eyes, to your wife's eyes, your husband's eyes, your daughter's eyes, and nothing else mattered at that point in time, and you actively listened and took that information in, and your clients or your kids or your wife or your husband or your spouse can actually tell that you are taking a vested interest in listening, actively listening, empathizing with them, actually listening to what they have to say. You know, I walked into Chipotle today to grab some meat, and the individual there, great guy, not taking anything away from him, but he was so loud and obnoxious. Hey, how you doing? What'd you like today? So I told him exactly what I wanted. I wanted a chicken burrito with guacamole and lettuce, and that's it. And so when he got done with the burrito, with the tortilla, he walked over, slid over to the side and said, "What kind of meat?" I looked at him and said, "Chicken." Because he was so busy on what he was doing instead of actually listening to me, what I wanted. He had no clue what I just said, no clue. And then he walked over and said, "Okay, would you like some sauce on this?" I said, "No, I told you when I first walked in here, I wanted a burrito, a chicken burrito with guacamole and lettuce." And he goes, "Okay, you want any corn on that?" I said, "No, I just want guacamole and lettuce, and that's it." And then I said, he goes, "Anything else?" I said, "Yeah, I'll take a drink." And then he slid it over, and the individual that was at the cash register also said, "You want anything to drink?" Nobody was listening to me. I had I went to a networking event last night, and I had an individual that I listened to, and every time I see her, she's a designer, her name is Janet, and every time I see her, I love to listen to her because she always has something very inspiring to say. So last night, I actively listened to her. I listened to her story. Listened to her story about when she was a kid, where she lived, and how they lived, and where they got their heat from in their house, and how she took a bath and what she took a bath in. It was pretty inspiring. It was pretty amazing, and it made me look at her in a different light. It made me love, honor, and appreciate her more for who she is. Not because she's a designer, not because they're an architect, not because they're a client of mine, but because of who she is. So the reason why I'm posting this today is because when was the last time that you actually actively listened to somebody? Because I will tell you, when your client, you do this to a client, when your client sees and knows that you're paying attention to them, they respect that. They know when you're listening, and they know when you're not listening. Just like me walking into Chipotle. That dude wasn't listening to me. He didn't give a shit about me. He just cared about being loud and obnoxious, and he was acting like he took a vested interest in me, but he didn't. It's like walking into QT. They don't even look at you. They hear the door chime go, "Hey, how you doing?" I always love going in there when they say that. They don't even look at you. I love going back, "Hey!" They're not paying attention. They don't give a shit about you. Actively listen to your clients. Actively listen to those people. Listen to your wife, husband, whoever it may be. Guaranteed they know when you're listening and when you're not listening. And what you get out of that, when you drop that phone and you pay attention to what your client or your prospect actually wants, Watch how much you get back out of that. Watch how much they get back out of that. Watch the impression that you make on them, because they know that you are actively listening to them and taking a vested interest in who they are. Not just the dollar. They know that you're taking a vested interest in who they are as an individual. That pays dividends. That's all I got for today. Jim Stegg, Stegg Custom Homes. Build that relationship. Create that dream, baby. Actively listen. Don't just hear. Actively listen, because they know. They know exactly when you're listening and when you're not listening. And that will pay huge dividends for you. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend.